We're going to begin this hour with the continuing concerns about the impact of this pandemic on the mental health and academic performance of students. We're all thinking about that. A survey by McKinsey & Company found that by the end of school year last year, students between kindergarten through 12th grade were on average, think about this, 5 months behind in math and 4 months behind on reading. Joining us now is Education Secretary Miguel Cardona for an interview you'll see only on CBS Mornings. Good morning, Mr. Secretary. It's nice to see you in person. We only see you from here up.
I know. Good morning. Great to be here.
You're a real boy. It's nice to have you here at the table. But let's pick up about students' mental health. What needs to be done? What can be done? What should be done about students' mental health? Parents very concerned about that.
They are concerned.
Of all ages.
They are concerned. A lot more has to be done, right? We, at the department, we put out a first of its kind guidance last year on how to support students as they come back in. The American Rescue Plan provided $130 billion, and we really prioritize ensuring that students and families have access to better mental health supports. We've seen examples of that across the country. I have to say, educators continue to impress me with what they're doing, whether it's providing mental health supports in schools, after-school programming. But I think it's critical that in this next phase of recovery where we are, our schools are open. As we're talking about recovery, we have to make sure that the foundation of this recovery is the mental health supports that our students need.
Yeah. I mean, I saw a great story this morning about a teacher who just takes her kids one by one and walks them around the building and allows them to talk. Can we go to student loans? We've had many older students reach out to us about forgiving student loan debt. And I think the student loan debt, Americans owe nearly $1.6 trillion in student loans. There has been talk about forgiving student loan debt. Where does the Biden administration stand on that now?
Yeah, we're definitely, since day one, making sure that we put our borrowers and our students at the center of the conversations. In just 1 year, President Biden has forgiven over $17 billion already.
But couldn't he take action now and forgive it?
We're having those conversations now. It's certainly something where we have the ability to address where colleges might have taken advantage or loan servicers have taken advantage of borrowers. We're releasing and discharging those debts. And we're going to continue the conversations about overall broad debt relief. But I don't want to, I think the culture in our administration and in the department is one of putting students first. That's why the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, which was set up over 10 years ago, didn't work. And in 1 year, we got it going. We got over 700,000 people further along in relief than they were before. So we're proud of that.
Yeah. Senator Elizabeth Warren was here, and she said the Biden administration has the power to, with a stroke of a pen, erase federal student loans. It sounds like you want to do that, but you don't want to get ahead of your boss.
No, I mean, the reality is we also want to make sure that our colleagues on the Hill continue to fight for that as well. Yeah. And we know in the administration we have a responsibility to put our students first. We think the higher education system needs work. We think the loan process needs work. We're working on it to make sure that the system doesn't go back to where we were, too. So in 5 years from now, we don't want to be in the same position we're in. So loan forgiveness is one thing, but fixing the broken system is something that we've been working on as well.
And Mr. Secretary, you've been very outspoken about Florida's Don't Say Gay bill. You called it hateful. Does the Department of Education plan to take any action against this law? And I know you've spoken to some parents about it. What did they tell you?
Yesterday I had a moving, very emotional conversation with students, parents, educators from Florida. And I think the words of the students are most impactful. I had a 12th grader who shared that he knew he was different since he was 5. He said, "This is pure hatred." I had a parent saying, "Please don't use my children as a pawn in your political games." So for me, this is about protecting all students. I feel frustrated. Across the world, we see, we know we don't like bullies, right? But yet, right in our own backyard, it's happening. There are over 12 states that are passing or trying to pass legislation like this. We need to protect our students. We need to protect our students, including our LGBTQ students.
So what can you do?
And educators.
What can you do?
Well, what we're doing is we're lifting up their voices. We're ensuring that the Office of Civil Rights is ready if complaints come forward in the implementation of this. But we're sending the message that it's unacceptable to bully marginalized students already. We talk about mental health, right? Yeah. Students who are gay or transgender need more mental health supports. And it's really important that while we're providing those supports, we're also not sending them to an environment where they're feeling marginalized or they can't be who they are.
Gayle mentioned teachers. Teachers are something else we need. My mom's a retired school teacher. My aunt's a retired school teacher.
My brother's a teacher.
Everybody
here has a
teacher in the
teacher
family.
and
Yeah.
remembers teachers who've impacted their lives.
And I've met teachers who have left the profession because they can't cut it in terms of the pay. It just doesn't work for them. And we've heard so many teachers left during the pandemic. There's a major hole in the public education system. What do you say to young people today thinking about that career? How do you get good people into the profession?
You know, this is the most impactful. Look, all of you said with smiles on your faces.
Yeah.
This person's a teacher.
Yeah.
Listen, we're here because of a teacher. And
That's right.
it's our responsibility to lift the profession. And as Secretary of Education, I'm taking that very seriously. We need to increase teacher salary to make it competitive. We need to make sure that the working conditions are conducive to growth, professional growth, personal growth. The days of teachers missing 3 to 4 hours of their own family time to correct papers, we need to revisit that. The days of teachers paying out of their own
Using their own
pocket
money, yeah.
for basic supplies.
Second jobs.
But not only that, the working conditions, but voice. As we're reopening and reimagining schools, let's make sure our teachers are at the table to talk about what schools should look like. So I'm really excited about where we're going with education. To the young folks, to answer your question, get in the profession. This is the best time to become a teacher.
See that smile on your face,
Secretary,
too.
thank you so much. Really nice to have you here at the
Thank you.
table.
Thank you.
Don't be a stranger.